Just gonna jack me up today. All right, we got good battery on the phone. We got the fire stick there already. Woo! I hope we got the fire stick there. I'm bringing my equipment just in case, because I don't know whether or not if he's going to have that fire stick there or not. First things first, my name is Kenneth Berber, company is ILEG. Technology screen. Doing equipment check on my setup over here. This is what I mean by I don't have time to entertain idiots. I don't. And I hate to call people that, but come on. If you haven't done research on my company, all the stuff that we do, this is the main reason why I'm really going to be pushing for offline, because we do all that testing over and over again to make sure everything's running perfectly, tons of demonstrations, new technology. And we always get one guy in there or two guys in there comes in there. We know where they come from. And they'll say, because they always come to defend that gray screen. Or they don't make gray screens anymore. They don't make screen paints anymore. Literally, we're going in to do a test run for the Apex. It's a screen paint. I might be launching that black technology early too, because I need that stuff for on site. Let me see. We have a power cord here, extension cord. Everything else is here. Do today. Got all the stuff here. Let me see. Yeah, because I want to get that done. I want to bring a bigger surface down too for that one. The window. Let me see. Let me get this adapter. Do we have the other adapter? Because I always make sure we don't use that one. Okay. Oh, yeah, we have it on. It's fantastic. Where's the other one? I'm bringing my fire stick just in case. Just in case. I'm bringing my fire stick. If he has the other one, because I'm about to set it up. Man, I have to set this fire stick for him. I know I'm going to be doing that. Let me take this adapter piece. I need that. I got the cords, cable, wires, all that's here. Everything's here. And I got my screen over there. My portable. Oh, excuse me for a minute. I got to push you guys to the side for a minute. I got to jump on PayPal. I got an invoice to send out. All right, all the equipment's there. All that's there. Figure out what kind of demonstrations. Is my charge still in? Because my charge keeps falling out. Let me see here. I got to go to PayPal. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, the video shows what it shows at the end of the day. Look, this gray screen just doesn't read. I don't know why people sit there and argue with us about that. You want to come in and make nasty comments and stuff. Be careful. Like I said, you'll get yourself sued making false accusations against my business. But as I said before, a gray screen doesn't work. You can argue from sun up to sundown about how it's supposed to work and all this other at the end of the day. But long story short, we're going to challenge you in court. You really want to talk trash at the end of the day, then let's do it in court. I ain't got time for that nonsense. Right now, I got to be on site in a few minutes. I got to send an invoice out. So I ain't got time for this nonsense. Every time we do a gray screen, y'all start crying about it. Every time. Then challenge us in court. See us in court. That's all you got to do. Let me see. Get this out of here. I don't need this in here. I need to pull the paper up. Put this invoice in. Let's keep with that. Don't you know the first thing about screen paint? Sitting there ranting about something. So they'll make screen paints. Somebody named 10 different companies that make screen paint. There's companies overseas that make screen paint. So many different versions of screen paint. People still make it. It's still required. Still needed. Right now we got going to a place where I got to do a walkthrough on motorized projection screens they have in there. And it's easy for us to paint over the screen because they already have it. It's already up there. It's already mounted. Then that's to go in and have them spend money for a whole brand new screen. And people don't want to be bothered with that. Right now, one of the other places I got to go to, they got a weird shaped kind of wall, and we have to build the screen in there. It has to be painted in and built in. We can't find a frame to fit that section over there. It won't even fit. There's nothing that fits that thing when we measured it out. So in order to get the screen to fit in there, we got to build the frame and paint it. Can't buy a fixed frame screen to do that. They don't have them in certain sizes. Not in that, none customization. And like I said, I had a customer had a staircase that clipped part of his screen. No way in the world we're going to get a screen to fit in there. It's impossible. And he wants a certain size. So where his projector is sitting back, that's the size he wants. He can get that if he had a customized build. And you have to paint those in. Customized build, paint them in, whatever way is easier. Some people don't want to work with saws. They don't want to work with tools at the end of the day. Easy. Paint it to your wall, be done. That's convenient of doing screen paints. But to make that statement and say that people don't use paints anymore, what a freak you been at for the last freaking 10 years. And then to say the other guy stopped making paint, it doesn't make a difference if he stopped painting. It's the fact that he scammed a bunch of people on a paint that really didn't do what he claimed it did. That's why his company's challenged in court. That's why it's being challenged. Because he scammed a bunch of people and he made false accusations the product did something and used machinery like high-end projectors, dark environments to manipulate the environment. Through our testing, we found out the product was nothing more than basic house paint. I got tons of videos of it describing the product as being something different. That's what he's being hit with, consumer fraud. But you're going to pinpoint on that. He's got much more bigger problems than just paint at the end of the day. There's some other issue we had. Some people I had to contact earlier this morning about that freaking email we received. He's got much bigger problems than that right now. But for you to come in here and argue with me about some great paint at the end of the day, you are obsolete. Do you understand that point? You're obsolete. You can't even handle this stuff at the end of the day. Imagine if you go against one of those Imperials over there. Imperial would turn your gray screen in the opposite color. You won't even recognize your screen next to that. You're obsolete. Your ship has sailed out into the open and sunk to the bottom of the ocean. What could possibly use you for at all, period? Any gray screen right now, what would we possibly use you for? Well, name something we can use you for. You don't have ambient light rejection technology because you spend most of your time in dark environments. You see what happens if you pull in a fully lit environment with a high-powered, high-end projector, you don't read correctly. So, those videos we just shot, or screenshots we just shot, if you feel the need that a gray screen pulls 100% black level and a well-lit environment, see us in court. That's all you got to do. Let me come to my channel, talk a whole bunch of nonsense, see me in court. That's all you got to do. Other than that, zip it. I got things to do. I got work to do. All right, let me see. Just someone got to put that order through for that one. And I got to go walking through another one on that one right there, period. Bump, 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 bump. Okay, I got it right there. I knew someone was going to come in crying. That's why I said, you trolls, I'll stay getting paid off y'all. I'll stay getting paid off you guys forever. Because you guys don't know anything. Y'all coming in, y'all talk about stuff. You know, you have a gray screen, you don't know jack. That's all to it. The minute you tell me you support gray screens, you don't know jack. All I got to do is say one thing. You have contrast? Do you read 100% contrast? Now, if you want to be on the channel, you want to say yes, then we'll go to court on it. That's what we'll do. Take it to court. And you convince the judge that you're reading 100% black, the judge will laugh at you. So with that being said, if you sold, we go back and we check your accounts and you are a business and we find that you sold enough of this product on that particular lie you just told and you lost in a court case over that, you're in trouble. That means we're going to come back and hit you with a consumer, we're going to hit you with a fraud charge, consumer fraud charge on you. We beat you in court and we get a judgment saying at the end of the day that you couldn't back up your claim that you read our 100% black level, and we go back until you get a subpoena to go into your accounts to find out that you sold this paint on that particular topic, that you told people they read black and they didn't. Guess what? We're going to come back and bring you to court. Yep, double whammy, baby. Double whammy. Where's my invoice on this thing? Double whammy. We'll come back and hit you in court and use the evidence against you that you lost in court against you. That's why I said don't challenge me in courtrooms. Don't do that. You get yourself hurting there. You don't read black. You accept it. You don't want to. The thing about it, you just want to keep on with this thing to read contrast. You don't. Those are two high-end projectors right there. They're not cheap, and they can't read a black level. Can't even read color either, because I sat there and said, "What come when you have a let me see, this is it right here. When you have a screen that can't read black, three things come into effect: ambient light rejection technology triggers, contrast triggers, and color. Color doesn't trigger. And because you don't pick up color correctly, you can't pick up the dark levels. Like the woman's eye clearly showed yellow and then a blend of dark orange, and you couldn't pick it up. You picked up all just as faded yellow. Told y'all, it don't work. They don't work on ultra short throw projectors. Let me see. Bump, 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 bump. All right, we're gonna do with this one right here. Oh man, we gotta draw up a payment arrangement. I gotta design a contract. That's another reason why. You on top of that, people want to get into this field. Tomorrow, I want to make screen paints. You better learn how to make contracts. Contracts, notifications, You have to know, make several different types. Distributorship contracts with overseas territory, what do you call it, policies. You got to know all that stuff. It isn't just mixing a couple of paints together and coming on camera and go, voila, we got a paint. You need tons of testing, different types of projectors, different type of environments. You have to have tons of customers that back your product. You're going to have to show yourself in multiple locations. I'm going to be in multiple locations all this summer. I'm literally going to have more on-site demonstrations than most people have in other people's homes right now. I'm about to got 5 to go to today. You got to have that. You got to be able to walk into a demonstration and say, oh, we'll fix it once we calibrate it. No, you failed already on that one. That means your screen's not reading correctly. Or basically be in a dark environment. Like you should have never been in an environment that dark with that church. You couldn't see the fire exits. All the lights on. If I was a preacher and I was the minister in that church, I would just look down and went, Lord, give me strength. I literally would have said that. Because how do you know whose fire exits are that dark? I wouldn't even walk into an establishment. Even the fire exits were super dark. No, man, come on. Come on, stop it. We'll see you in court. When we get all that taken care of. For anybody else, you want to challenge me, go to court. We'll do it from there. Let me see. I test your stuff. What do you think? I was all over Allentown with a freaking setup doing these demonstrations. I need to edit this. Edit invoice. Because we had to make sure that stuff worked. If we can get that thing to fire up in the middle of a park somewhere, we know inside would be a cakewalk for it. Y'all don't want to do that work. Y'all want to sit up there, talk a bunch of mumbo jumbo, these dark environments, high-end machines. At the end of the day, y'all don't want to do the work. And unfortunately, for the customer, this has nothing to do with him. They're not really actually technically not a customer yet. But for that person at the end of the day who sent us the pictures, I'm glad he did send that picture. Because again, like I said, he didn't turn any of the lights out. He didn't do that. He had the lights, well, of course, it's daytime. His lights are not going to be on. But he showed natural lighting on that screen and what he was picking up. That is the best picture I've ever seen. If you do happen to make the order, we'll give you a discount because of that picture you sent over. But other than that, yeah, y'all stuff don't work. Gray screens don't work for Jack. All right, let me see. Oh, we can do this on here. Oh, I do invoices? I do. Company invoices, multiple invoices, multi-invoices, all that stuff. You have to know spreadsheets, all that stuff. You have to know everything. You have to know everything in business. You have to know all that. How to design contract. You have to design a contract. If you don't know how to design your own contract, you're at the mercy of somebody else's contract. You should have your own contract. You should know the proper terms of what breaches the contract, territorial rights, stuff like that, especially if you're shipping over through customs. If I'm shipping through customs, I prefer not shipping paint. So if you don't know that, so then you're in a lot of trouble. Because sometimes, and let me help them out with a little bit of information, so they know some stuff in the day. Because I've been to before with overseas companies before. I've had contracts. You never had a contract. I can tell you guys who make that product never had a contract ever. So basically, when you're shipping a chemical, which means you had something safety material data sheet. So on every single one of our boxes we shipped over, we had this safety material data sheet. And it was over paint. You see that thing on the back of it, that huge sticker? That's our safety material data sheet. You can't ship anything to the United States Postal Service without that form. So if you have shipped anything to the Postal Service without that form, you're in a lot of trouble, especially if you're shipping overseas. Now, once you go overseas, go through customs, they're going to see it. They're going to have to contact you. All your information has to be on there for them to reach back to you because, again, they have to know, hey, what's in this? Now, you technically don't have to tell them what's in it. You just tell them the basics. That basically, it's fire resistance, it's water-based, there's no strong odors, none of that stuff. What's the proper way we clean it up in case this stuff spills? All that stuff you have to know from the door. Is it going to have problems with imploding? Is it going to have problem with heat? Is it going to explode? If it gets too cold where it's going through areas where the temperature is cold, we're going to have cans blowing up left and right. This is the reason why we don't put things in metal cans anymore. Metal cans don't expand. Even though your formula may not have any form of chemicals to make it expand, paint and the other stuff you mix into it may have a different reaction to temperature, which you don't test your stuff. Oh, leaving the room already? Yeah, way over your head right now? You didn't know all that stuff was involved, right? We could sue you on a number of those things in court. We could say that the chemical or formula that you're making wasn't properly tested to with cold, heat, all that stuff, which can get you in a lot of trouble if you were shipping this stuff across seas. See what I mean? If we get you in a courtroom, it's not going to go well for you. And you don't even know this stuff because you don't explain it on your YouTube channel when you talk about it. We know you don't know this stuff. If you don't test your product, we know you haven't done these tests either. So when you have that particular item, you're going to have to lay claim that when they say, is there any chemicals or is there any liquid or whatever, so and so, you're going to have to check yes. Which means if this thing lands in another country or something happens where it spills, explodes, anything that happens, you don't know what you're doing because you're mixing all these chemicals together and you don't know how these chemicals going to marry well, you could have a potential issue on your hands where you can be sued or you can be dragged across country to basically serve for court. They can get you from here and bring you to there, because you don't know anything about your product because you didn't test it because you're mixing stuff together. And when you're mixing stuff together, how do you know it's not going to have some kind of chemical imbalance reaction? You don't know because you never tested your stuff. You're just mixing stuff together. So the minute that stuff pops on a United States Postal Service or any form of shipping carrier, you're liable. And since you haven't tested your stuff, well, you're screwed also. That's how that works. So all my stuff is tested. Because the first time when I went to the postal service, a friend that worked there, he told me all the rules and regulations, and I went right through it. That's why I can ship stuff anywhere I want all over the world. Now, one of the things that you don't know, which I have to educate these, and we're not talking about customer, we're talking people who sell the product. When you ship a paint overseas, number one, you have to be licensed. You're not licensed to do this at all, period. When you ship overseas, the best way to ship a screen overseas is pre-coated. Because if you ship over 20 or 30 gallons of paint, this raises major red flags. Even if your stuff is all tested from the door, it's still going to sit in customs for at least about a couple months. Because they got to test it out to make sure this stuff is not going to be hazardous, if there's any problems, if it's being used as another element for something much more dangerous, it'll be sitting there. And that means the only way you're going to be to get it out of there is the person who ordered it. It's going to come down to customs and they're going to verify this stuff is theirs. That's the only problem. But the way to get around that is we spray it onto a surface. Once it's sprayed to a surface, it's no longer considered to be a chemical. It's considered to be a surface with a screen attached to it. Very easy. Pack them up, ship them over. They write, you tell exactly what it is, and that's it. That passes better than a chemical. Way better than a chemical. So anytime we do any form of overseas contracts from now on, we make sure that they can't buy paint because it's a headache to get through customs, and they know it's a headache to get through customs. We ship it as basically a screen that's pre-coated. With a screen that's pre-coated, and we put them in a vacuum seal bag, we can ship over like 100 or 150 screens in this little tiny package because it's all vacuum sealed. Now, you just learned something new today. When you come to my channel and say I don't know stuff, we already know you don't know stuff. Because if you had listened to anything I said in any of my video demonstrations, especially with the experience I have in my backfield, you would know at the end of the day, I know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you want to challenge me on that, see me in court. I'll show you exactly how much I know compared to what you know. Y'all don't know anything. Now, for people like Goose Screen and all them, they know this stuff. They know this stuff. If you're shipping stuff overseas, they know the custom rules. Any of these big companies, they know the custom rules. I'll guarantee you that majority of people right now on eBay know the custom rules. I guarantee they know it. But these people like Jamie and freaking, what's the other guy called? What's his name? The guy the other day. Rogers. Y'all don't know Jack. Jack at all. Jack or Jill or anything coming out. You don't know Jack at all, period. My goodness. They're the main ones crying about it. Don't worry. You already taken care of already. So the only thing you need to do right now is just wait for impact. Like a meteor about to come and crash right into the side of your house, you can't do jack about it, but just sit there, light up a cigar, and just wait for the impact. Because you're about to get it good. You do too much. I'm going to challenge your company on court. And the guy was like, well, you tried to discourage me. Another discouraged dumb email, a discouraged message. Oh, there's no point, you keep going on and on and on and blah, 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 blah. Going on and on and on. He scammed a bunch of people. Scammed a lot of people with that paint. See, the reason why when you got people like this YouTuber at the end of the day, this is the reason why people get away with the crimes they get away with, because you're a coward. People like you will allow people to get away with crimes at the end of the day because you're much of a coward to stand up and basically, put people on blast for this type of nonsense. You're a coward. That's what you are. I'm not that type of person. This is my field. I love what I do. I have a passion about my work, what I do, my time, my effort, what I put into it. And I don't like when people come in and disrespect my work, what I do at the end of the day. That's why I couldn't understand about Gordon Ramsay. Like, I thought this guy was a complete butthole when I first watched this show. But then I understand the passion and love he has for his food and what he does. And he doesn't like when people come in and butcher it. So that's what you guys do. You butcher it. Same thing we're going to do to you when we get you into a courtroom. There's going to be a slaughter fest in there. Oh, I expect to see a lot of crying, a lot of shaking of the legs, drinking tons of water because of the cotton mouth. You guys are going to go through it. And I'm going to have all that information in court on how you reacted, and I'm going to post that to our special website when we're actually building. And that can't be touched, can't be removed. It'll be there for all to read. Yeah, crying and whining over some dumb nonsense at the end of the day. Oh, they don't make paints anymore. Pfft, please, get out of here with that dumb nonsense. They didn't make paints. Why am I making money right now? I'm making an invoice right now. For business, I'm about to walk through in about a couple minutes and do some demonstrations in there that's putting in a 150-inch 235.1 screen using that technology over there. Sure. 2 years ago, please. Goose Screen is still contracted with multiple companies. Goose Screen has been at Disney World. Their stuff is still being pushed out there. All these companies are still making money out there. And you're trying to make it sound like, oh, get off of it. There's no point talking about it over and over again. Okay, sure. Now, I sent you a little message. With the message I sent you at the bottom, what it says, the comment back. If you got a problem, you want to challenge me, you meet me in court. All right, let me see. We're going to do partial payment on this one for this guy right here. We got payment arrangements, too. We got payment arrangements for offline. So that's why I got to design a payment arrangement contract, which should be easy to do. He's making partial payment now, so that way you have to make partial payment. You make partial payment that lets us know out of good faith that you are interested in the product. So, yeah, he's ready to set it up. He saw that screen. He was like, oh, there's a black screen. You know the advertising you can put out for that? Yeah, we got a black 150-inch black projection screen. I said black projection screen. See what I mean? He's going to make money off our screen. Meanwhile, he got ad tech and he got that one. He got both of them. He ordered both. Let me see. Where's the other option? Okay. Jeez Louise. Is there something about some atomic screen or whatever? Man, I studied everything, man. There is no screens absorbing sunlight at 350 lumens. There is none. We're the only ones who have it. Even the AI overview knows who we are. They recognize our technology. There's no one who did that demonstration. Name one company that went outside with a 50 to 300 lumen projector and pushed them into direct sunlight. Name one. Oh, wait, that would be us, wouldn't it? Oh. Yeah, we're the only ones who did it. So if we can push at 350, that's why our images look like 600 by 800, 720p. That freaking ad tech on that glass is pulling a better visual image than a 4K projector at top. And that's 600 by 800, 720p. Not even using a HDMI adapter to it. It's not HDMI, full HDMI. It's using an adapter, which means it's compressed. And at 600 by 800, 720p at 2200 lumens, out time, daytime, in a window, You guys can't even put your stuff next to a window without disappearing. And that thing can push through a window at a distance throw. Come on, you can't. What do we have to do with it? No, forget it. I'm not about that. Then I'm done with that part. Because you got other people out there trying to make money. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. Great screens should be obsolete, and they should upgrade to darker technology. But I'm not gonna do that. But any of you naysayers in the day, you care to make your product? Oh, I forgot we did that one already. Y'all couldn't make. We got you on lockdown. We literally told them to make their own product and put it on eBay to sell. I don't see any of you putting anything on eBay. What you're afraid? Someone's gonna get your address and send you some documents and drag you into a courtroom and prosecute you? Don't worry, that's gonna happen already. So it's inevitable. It's still gonna happen either way. But go ahead. I'll give you till the end of this month that have your fake, phony black paints being sold, and I guarantee I will come in, crush your products, crush them. Then, just for insult for injury, I'll put you against a black Imperial and take you outside and watch your screen completely disappear. Then I'll spatter that all over the internet, destroy you on that. And then when I'm done with you, I'll file a PayPal complaint, get my money back, and then I'll basically hit you with a consumer fraud charge for basically processing a product that you know nothing about before you launched it. Challenge our knowledge versus yours. You willing to go play that game with me today? Go ahead. But you know what you're going to do? You're going to go to your YouTube channel, you're going to cry about what I just said on this video. Yeah, pretty much. I'll probably complain to YouTube, I can't remove the video. He embarrassed me, hurt my feelings. Let me see. Let's see. All right. Hello, this is partial payment that has to be made. I will be getting ready to draw up a payment agreement contract today. Hello, this is partial payment to be made. I'm gonna put down to be made. To be made. Make it more gentle. Payment to be made. Oh, I plan to go by that pizza shop again too, by the way. We're not doing any business with them. I didn't like this because at the end of the day, we showed him the technology and he should have believed in our technology. He was persuaded by you guys. But I am planning to put a pizza store right next to his. I'm buying the building next to his. I'm going to put mine in there. And my shop will be far more superior than his. You know, we got that technology glass, giant screens we can install in. I'm going to run him out of business. You don't do stuff like that to me at the end of the day. I don't appreciate that. You know, you should have had faith in my product. That's what you should have did. And I know chefs. I know a lot of them at the end of the day. I'm one myself. So, yeah, I'm going to bring in really good pizza. Like, we make it from scratch. That's what I like. Really good pizza made from scratch. Not that processed stuff at the end of the day. Made from scratch. I'm bringing a couple of my friends. I got a few Italians that I'm good friends with. And excellent. Excellent. Oh, my goodness. The food is amazing. So, yeah, I'm going to hook it up so they can have that. Yeah, for competition for him. And a big bay window showing the pizza designs, all that. Everything, the whole 9 yards. See? There's ways that online I can take you out, and there's ways I can take you out offline. I can stick food trucks in front of your unit. They'll have that technology wrapped around them. People can watch images, whatever they want, right off the side of it. Yeah. Well, that technology gives a vantage point and everything. Let's say, bump, 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 bump. So I didn't appreciate that because one of the things I don't like. People I do respect when these cartoons call these people at the end of the day. I've had people contact me and say, "Hey, little bird, I got some stuff." Some people call me or something, but don't worry, we're good. At the end of the day, I've seen your stuff. We're good. Those are the people I can respect. I can do business with. They can't be persuaded from left to right. People like that. What you guys did, you didn't take money off my table. You never take money off my table. I'm taking money off your table in lawsuits, but you're not taking money off my table. That shows me at the end of the day, this is a person I can't do business with. Because if a person is that easy to be persuaded from left to right, this is a person we can't build a business with. The foundation is way too weak, so we won't touch them. But we will show them what they don't have. Like customers, if you ever receive an email from me that says, thank you for your interest in our product, and if it says, we wish you the best of luck on your project, it means you're not getting the product. That's what it stands for. We're not going to do business with you. If you ever receive one of those from us, we do that for people who waste their time. You waste my time, and I basically send you an email 3 or 4 times, and we talk about this, and clearly we show you everything. I got customers that come in today, they don't even talk, they just buy. They already know what we do at the end of the day. I got customers that says 2 questions. What type of projector do I need? Because you guys have the specification. But okay, projector's good. That'll work with us. What size screen you're going to paint? 120 inch. There you go. That's it. Bye. Done. Over it. But then we got customers that come in that want to play games at the end of the day, and they want to drag their feet on this and drag their feet on that. You got one of them emails that come to you, that means you've been banned. You can't buy anything from us ever. We won't touch you. People we do business with out there, if you drag your feet, you don't pay up on time, or this or the other, bunch of excuses, we won't touch you. Everybody around there will have that technology. We can't go near you. Your risk. Put you on the list. So we had a customer, we had to do that to the day. They can't receive the product now. It's a shame too, because without that technology, their screen is going to look absolutely awful. Don't waste my time. My time is not to be wasted. I don't waste your time when I come on there. I answer your questions quick, roughly, send you down links, all that stuff, links to the shopping cart, links to demonstrations, customer testimonies. If I take the time to do all that for you, and on top of that, find your projector and waste my time, you got banned. So somebody just got a ban today. Let me see. Hello, there's a partial payment to be made. I will be getting ready to draw up a payment agreement contract today. Okay, that's perfect. Oh, I played the DLC version of the Walking Dead. It was interesting. I give it that much. It was interesting. It was different. I tell you, the zombies were different. The zombies could literally take you down and beat the crap out of you, which was interesting. I didn't see that one coming. And then they had these ones with spikes all over them. They attach you, you know what I mean? You can poison you. It was very interesting in that. But the talking, man, it just kept saying the same thing over. It was driving me nuts. I don't know what the guy from The Walking Dead with the baseball bat. Like, he was funny. He had some funny stuff he said at the end of the day, but that became tedious after a while. And then, I don't know. I don't know. Just for me, it didn't do anything to me. Maybe I got to play it online. I'm going to play it online with a bunch of people and see what that's like. Maybe it would be much more funnier. But for me, I finished it. It was pretty good. It was pretty good to somewhere. I didn't say it was bad, but it wasn't actually, you know. Although that flashlight section was pretty good, though. Oh, I like them right there. When you have a flashlight and that's the only light you have in it, is a flashlight in a dark area? Oh, that was pretty funny. I'm going to screw some people over on that. I got to have them taking the flashlight and running off. I do it all the time to people in there. Get them lost in there. I know where you're at. We're getting lost in there. But when I do the game, I have to do it offline. I have to know the maps first before I go in and play. But it had some levels, so it was actually pretty good to it. But I tell you one thing, the zombie horde was amazing. I'll give them that. It was endless. Unbelievable. The more you killed, the more came in. That was the craziest thing I've ever seen. Because usually we kill zombies. We got the whole section cleaned up for a little bit. Nah, they respawn. It was just scrolls of them. Packs of them. Yeah, they did a good job on that one. And these things touch you, they can take you down. Which I thought was pretty cool. I have to play it again. I have to get into the story. But then again, I did start off with that Assassin's Creed, and that Assassin's Creed is really, really good. But I'll go back to it anyway. Yeah, that was interesting. I just like the harder levels. They got the level for the meat locker. That's the one where basically you freeze to death in there. I like stuff like that. The sandstorm, all that stuff. Okay, we got everything here. Make sure you copy this and we're going to a little timeout on here on this thing. And you got to get out. We got to go. It's only 1 o'clock. We should have been down there right now to get this done. It's going to be there about a hot minute. And I got to walk through another unit on top of that. Let me see. No, we don't do that. Okay. What do we got here? Did it go through? Let me see. I'm only know to find out when we send the update. See what happens. Because it should go through partial, right? So let me see what we got here. No, it's still reading it. Nah. I got plenty of time. Minimum 2. Okay, I see it right there. Okay, cool. I didn't see that. Okay, cool. It's right there. It says right there, it says minimum amount 2, So you can pay a minimum amount of this price instead of paying that price. Ooh, that is freaking hot. I like it. I do like it. I like it a lot. All right, let's go back and basically go right here. So I got a copy reminder. Send all that through. All right, we're good. Okie dokie. It's fantastic. And whatever. I'm gonna have to update my freaking invoices too. Definitely gotta update my invoices. Yeah, I got to update this. My office should be on this. I'll get to that when I come back in. I'll get all that updated. Oh. You know, it's interesting. The garage was temporary to get me out of the insanity that I'm going through over there at the apartment. Could I run a business from there? No, it's a garage. I'm crazy. Garages are good for other stuff, but you can't run a business. You need an office for that. That's what the office is for. Office is for me to come here and conduct business. Like I say, at the end of the day, yeah, I got an office over here. I got an office over there. I got an office over there. Yep, got an office. Office over here. Office. That's what we need the office for. I'm going to show you how much I made. It's none of your business. Now for my customers. My customers, we know we don't show that in the day. That's your personal information. We don't do that. But then they say, oh, what did he make? More than you made today. More than you made in a week. Let me see. Get this out of here. Let me see. This is done. We're out of here with that one. Yeah. Me, it's $700 a quart. I got to do maybe 8 or 9 quarts this week. And then we got the AdTech what we're selling right now. Wait till the tabletop panels come out. You see them panels? That's just the big ones. We got the smaller ones that connect together like a Lego system that we can custom to your desk. You got those coming out. Man, you're going to have a ball with those things, man. Like, yo, make my desk turn on fire. All that cool stuff, man. On top of that, I got a knockout projector I'm about to buy. A knockoff projector I'm about to buy. I got to run a little test. I'm curious. I got a funny feeling they'll read through that black technology and invisible technology. If this projector works through that in technology and we can advance that, oh, we can use those things, man. Because they make those projectors tiny and small. They make some little small micro versions of them. Oh, what I can do with that thing if it does work. So I'm going to order one pretty soon. Actually, I'm going to order one today. And yeah. Let's see what happens. It should work. I don't see why it wouldn't. I don't see why it wouldn't be to run. If this thing runs through that screen, if it does it to that black technology and invisible, you know what that means? The eyewall projector, all those projectors, they'll run right through it with no problem. Because they're way better than the old little knockoff machine we're going to buy. That means there's hope for those particular projectors. And the reason why it's hope, because some people bought those machines and they're stuck with them. That's a very expensive machine. You know, you're not going to take it back. You're not going to get the same money you paid for. You know that. And if you had it for a little while, you know you're not going to get your money back right away. So you're stuck with that. You already just spent that kind of money. You're going to turn and buy money for another one, spend money for another projector. So you have to try to get it to work somehow. And if that knockoff projector reads to that black technology and it picks up an image on the other side, especially if we can do it outside, that means there is big hope for you guys who own those projectors. Now you can read in affinity, contrast level, all that crazy stuff, and do things on that projector you never thought it could do. But we got to test it first. Can't wait to get the projector. Until then, I got to be out the door because I got to be on site. We got to do fire stick. This video about a fire stick. Hook that sucker up. Bye. Hope you enjoyed. Got to go. Thank you for your time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. God